Hello everyone and welcome to the week 10 tutorial for marketing decision analysis MKF 2131. My name is Fatima and in this video I'm going to go through the tutorial 10 exercise. This tutorial is about CLV or customer lifetime value. When we say customer lifetime value, it's mainly for companies that have long-term relationship or ongoing relationship with clients, like service companies. We want to compute the CLV, which is the dollar value of customer relationship. We want to see that what is the value of each client for this company. We also want to analyze the profitability tiers. We want to find the CLV of each customer and then segment customers into different groups, because usually companies segment their customers into different groups and then service them differently, provide them with different services based on their values. And then we want to evaluate the acquisition strategy. We want to see, based on the CLV of customers, what will be the best strategy for the newcomers, like acquisition or retention. So let's look at the case together. Marketing Practice Board is a company that provides service for a business operating in the transport sector. It's all about marketing research for these companies. They've got 50 private transport companies that all these companies are either operating or seeking to operate in Australia within the next 5 years. So the subscription fee of this company is $250,000. It means that each of these 50 customers or clients has to pay $250,000 yearly to MPB company. We are given some information like the fixed cost per year, subscription fee, as I mentioned, $250,000. We've got the retention rate. At the current subscription rate, retention rate is 100% yearly, which is the ratio of number of customers retained to a number of customers at risk. And it's 100, which is really good. We also have the discount rate, which is 10%. What is this discount rate? This is the value of money. It means that the value of money decreases over time because of inflation or lost interest, etc. It means that if you receive $10 today, it's worth more than receiving the same $10 next year. So the value of $10 next year will be $9 if the discount rate is 10%. So I will let you know that how you can take this discount rate into account to find the CLV. Based on the information that we are given, we want to calculate the CLV of the customers of MPB, and also we want to address other questions. So let's focus on the first question. Find the CLV of MPB customers over a 5-year horizon 2016 to 2020. And we've got a hint here. We have to calculate the contribution for each year. Then we calculate the present value of each year contribution by adjusting for the discount rate. And then we sum across 5 years. So let's go to the worksheet. This is the worksheet that we've got for week 10. We've got information here: fixed costs, annual subscription fee, and discount rate. So the worksheet that you are given on the Moodle, the parameters are empty, so you have to actually fill the parameters. Let me actually do it here for you and do everything together. So the fixed cost, as I mentioned, is $2 million. You've got $ here. If you don't have $, just change the general to currency. The annual subscription fee is $250,000 and the discount is 10%. So you have to just complete this from the case that you are given. And now we are ready to find the CLV for each customer. We have 50 clients here 50 clients. We've got the annual expenses, the average annual expenses for each customer, and also we've got the annual subscription fee. So if you want to find the contribution margin for customer this year, which is 2016, so suppose that now we are in 2016, I wish, no COVID-19. Anyway, so we want to find 2016 contribution margin. We know that this customer number 1, has paid $250,000 as annual subscription fee. And the expenses of this customer is $106,000. So the differences between the expenses and the annual subscription fee is the contribution margin of this customer. Simple as that. So equals to the benefit from these customers minus the expenses, $143,000. So again, suppose that we are in 2016 and we want to find the contribution margin or value of customer for next year if everything is the same. The annual subscription fee $250,000 and the expenses is this much. But we've got discount rate. The value won't be $143,000. We have to account for 10% discount rate. So here is the formula. Value of money in year T, or for example in 2017, equals to value of money in year before divided by 1 plus discount rate. So what we have to do is to find the contribution margin of 2017 equals to the contribution of the previous year divided by 1 plus 10%, which is discount rate. For 2018, same things, equal to previous year divided by 1 plus 10%. But again, it's not a rational thing to do everything manually. You can just fix whatever you can, the cells, and then use the formula for other cells. So look at this year, 2017. I have used the discount rate. Discount rate should repeat for every year. So I can fix D7 by pressing F4 and then use this formula for the rest of the cells. Very simple. Rather than doing manually, you can just fix some of the cells and make your life easier. So now we have calculated the value or contribution margin of 5 years for customer number 1. Based on the hint that we are given, we just have to sum up this 5 years value to get the CLV based on 5-year horizon. So sum of these 5 years, which is $598,000 for 5 years, customer number 1. So same thing for the rest of the customers. For the second customer, we can use the previous formula. So you know that what I did for customer number 1, I got the differences between the annual fee and the annual expenses. The annual fee is the fix, so I can fix the D5, pressing F4, and then use this formula for the rest of the cells. And because I have already fixed all of the cells, I can use the formula for other cells. I'm pretty sure that all of you know that's what I'm doing. You know that how we fix the cells and why we fix the cells and how we can drag to right or down to use the same formula for the rest of the cells and easily find lots of values in Excel. And the last column, there we go. So we have calculated the CLV based on 5-year horizon for 50 customers. Once again, I'll repeat that we have to get the differences between the annual subscription fee and annual expenses for the year that we are in, and then we have to account for discount rate, which is 10% based on the formula that I showed you before, and you calculate the contribution margin for each year and get the sum up of these values to get the CLV based on 5-year horizon. Simple as that. So now let's come back to the case. We have 3 tasks. The first task has been done. We have found the CLV for each customer. So I will first address the third question because it's closer to the first one, and then I will answer the second question. So the third question is produce client contribution charts by deciles and identify and analyze the profitability tiers. So we have to sort clients in ascending in terms of their value and answer to this question. Let's go back to the data. So this is the data. We have found the CLVs, and what we want to do is to classify customers, 50 customers, to 10 decile. What does decile mean? So when we have 50 clients and we want to categorize them into 10 deciles, means that each decile consists of 5 clients. The first 5 clients are the first decile. The second 5 clients belong to the second decile, and so on. So the very first thing that I want to do is to rank customers based on their CLV. What we want to do is to first rank customers and then classify these 50 customers to 10 decile and get the contribution margin for each decile, and based on the decile's value implement some strategies for each decile. So first, rank the CLV or the customers based on their CLV. So when you want to rank a column, ascending or descending, you can use the sort here, or you can use the rank function. So I'm going to use rank function. So I'm use the rank function. You have to complete number and also the references. So rank, I want to rank the first client CLV, so this number, and the reference is all of the CLVs. So all of the CLVs. So let me put rank here, or ranking. Put it. Okay. So it says that the first client rank is 8. From 1 to 50, this client has the rank 8. Not bad among 50 customers. So for the second customer, same formula we have to use, but if I fix the reference column, I can use the formula for the rest of the cells. Let me back this to the normal. So it says that the first customer has the ranking of 8, which is good. The second customer, 45. Fair enough, because you can see that the CLV over the 5 years is negative. The third customer, 37. It's not good among 50 customers because the CLV is negative. The first customer is customer number 23 because the CLV over the 5 years is $748,000. So now we want to classify customers into 10 deciles based on their ranking. But what will be the criteria for us? The criteria will be the ranking, but we want to focus on the expected annual expense for the year 2017. So we want to focus on 2017 contribution based on the overall value of customers, contribution margin, and also percentage of total contribution. So first, contribution margin for each decile. First decile is the first 5 clients that have the highest CLV. 5 first clients that have the highest CLV. Second decile, the second 5 clients with the highest CLV. So it means that what is the total contribution margin of the first 5 clients. So what I have to do, I have to find first client, second client, third client with the highest CLV, and then sum up the contribution margin of these 5 clients for 2017 to find the contribution margin of decile 1. So let's do it together. So I want to use sum if. So let's do it here. Sum if the the contribution margin, but if the ranking of the client is from 1 to 5. So the range is this ranking, blah, blah, blah. Yes, this ranking, and the criterion, you know what you have to do. Less than 6, that it accounts for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Sum the annual expenses, the contribution margin for the year 2017. So the criteria is here. Yes, $851,000 for client number 1, contribution, decile 1, in a year 2016 and 17, like 1 year. It means that the first 5 customers, the first 5 customers with the highest CLV have this much contribution in a year 2017 contribution margin. For the second decile, I can use the same formula by fixing some of the cells. So as I said, decile 1 accounts for customer number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Decile 2 accounts for customer number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I can use the same formula and fix some of the cells and use it for the rest of the cells. So look what we had. Let's look what we have. So we have the contribution margin for the first 5 clients. If I use the same formula for the second decile, what I have to change is this 6 to 11, right? And then remove the first decile from the final value. But before that, I want to fix the cells because the ranking from 1 to 50 doesn't change. So I have to fix all these cells, and also the contribution margin of the 2016, because same column should be accounted for. So this is about fixing the cells, and I will use the formula for the second cell. But for the second decile, I have to change this 6 to 11. So you can find your way. This is my way. This now accounts for contribution of 10 clients, 1, 2, 3, 4 till 10. But for decile 1, I need only the second 5 customers. So what I will do is to remove the contribution margin of the first decile from this value. So this much minus the previous value of the first decile. And same process for the rest of the cells. So for this cell, I will use, for the third decile, I will use the same formula. This time, instead of 11, I will use 16. And then I will remove the contribution margin of the previous 2 deciles. So minus sum of these 2 previous decile. And for the rest, it's a little bit time consuming. Otherwise, you can use other way to find the easier way. So this is my way because I thought that the easier way might be a little bit confusing. So it's better to put a little bit of time and do it manually. So it's still not that much manually, but I think it's better than using the and sign and other difficult function in the Excel. So be patient and fill out the table. So for the decile number 4, instead of 16, we should have 21, and the 3 previous decile should be removed. So M15, 16, and 17. So you can select these 3. So let me calculate this one, 21 to 26. So it accounts for all 26 clients, and then remove 4 previous clients, 14, 15, 16, and 17. So 26, 31, and 15, 16 to the end. So you can fix whatever you want and make it easier, but again, I thought that it might be a little bit confusing, so I thought it's better to do it manually. Yes, you can see that from decile number 7, the contribution margin becomes negative. So let's see what will happen, whether it gets worse or better. So instead of 36, 41, you can see that like I put 5 each time, and this much, yes, minus 243,000. It's getting worse and worse. 46, that it accounts for 46 clients, and yes, worse than before. And the last one, thanks God, 51, less than 51, and then all the previous deciles contribution margin, yes, minus 841, and get the total, which is really simple. So why I want to find the total? Because I want to get the percentage of total contribution. So what you have to do to get the percentage, get the actual value by the total number. And then because the total is the same for the rest of the cell, just get the fixed and do it like this. So now let's interpret the result. What we have done was, based on the ranking of customer, CLV of customers, we have basically classified customers into 10 deciles, and each decile accounts for 5 customers based on the ranking. We found the contribution margin of these customers for the year 2016 and 17 and get the percentage of total contribution. What does this data tell us? It tells us that the first decile, first 5 clients accounts for 58% of contribution, total contribution. The second decile, 49%. The third, 38%. And it's getting worse and worse and worse. So based on these total contribution, we can classify customers into different groups. So if you go back to your lecture slides, you can see that we can identify the customers' profitability tiers based on this contribution margin. There are 3 different groups of customers, like reward, grow, and fire customers. Top tier customers, those who contribute most to profit, and we're looking for ways to reward them other than like simply lowering the price. The second tier customers, for example, these 4 declines. So it depends on the management decision. They are the middle customers, middle to low profit contribution. We are looking for ways to develop them into top tier customers. We want to actually grow them. And the last tier, or the third tier, are those customers who negatively contribute to the profit. So usually we're looking for ways to increase profitability, such as repricing or other strategies, maybe retention for these types of customers. To make it easier to interpret, let's draw a chart and see how these deciles look like. I would select 10 deciles with the total contribution, and I would use one of the recommended tables. So we've got we have put this box here. You can actually put your table here and then adjust the table. You can change the chart title, and also you can change some of the option here, say for example data table, or data labels here. You can see actually the percentage of total contribution here. And then based on this table chart and also the previous table, you have to answer to this question, that what are the reward, fire, and growth tiers of this company. So because you can categorize these 50 clients into 3 different groups. Some of them are fire, some of them should be treated better because they are reward customers, some of them actually are in the middle. So it's up to you. You have to interpret this deciles information and then talk about the different tiers of the company. So it was all about question 1 and question 3. Let's go back to the case and see the second question. So here's the second question. So the second question is asking that whether the company should undertake any prospecting for the new business or the new client. You can assume that acquisition spending per prospect is set as 50,000. So it's the expense for a new acquisition, and it's expected that at this level of spending, the acquisition rate is 60%. The prospects are likely to yield similar contribution on average as their current clients. It means that there's a hint here. We can use the average CLV of the current clients as the prospect CLV. And then based on this information, we have to make the final decision, which is undertaking a new business or not. So here's the data. You need to actually complete this box: expected initial margin, expected CLV, that we need to use the average of the CLVs, acquisition rate, acquisition spending, and calculate the PLV. So let's do it together. It's a very simple process. So there is no expected initial margin, so you can just put 0 here. So let me change this to black. And then the expected CLV, because there was a hint that you can use the average CLV. So let's get the average, just equals average of, no idea why it becomes red, but anyway, of all the CLVs. And then acquisition rate that we are given, I think it was 60%, and acquisition spending, it was 50,000. So these are the requirements to calculate the PLV. So what's the formula for PLV? So here is the formula. PLV equals to profit expected from a new prospect minus the cost of prospecting. So the exact formula is acquisition rate multiply CLV minus acquisition cost per prospect. So this is acquisition rate multiply by expected CLV minus the acquisition cost per prospect, which is $50,000. So this is the PLV. It's a prospect lifetime value, and it's positive, as you can see. So now this is your turn to interpret this PLV and answer to this question: that should BP undertake this prospecting for new business or not? So you have to use the PLV, or whether it's positive or negative, and then answer to this question. And that's all. So we can finish our week 10 tutorial. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Tomorrow we will have our Zoom session. Don't hesitate to come to the Zoom session and ask your question about this tutorial before your submission on Friday night. Have a good time, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.